Today we have with us Mr. Michael Moller, Director General of the United Nations Office at Geneva. Good afternoon, Mr. Moller. It is indeed a pleasure to have you here with us today. To begin with, I would like to ask you, what would you say is the key message that you would like us to take away from your speech today?
The key message is a message of personal responsibility for what goes on in the world and for making it right. All of us have a responsibility, much greater than maybe in the past, to be part of the search for a solution and to be part of the implementation of the new frameworks that we've been given last year, the new roadmap for all of us. So it's both an institutional, it's a national, it's an international, but it's also very much a personal responsibility to be part of the effort to make our planet livable again.
Moving on to development-based questions. We're living in a more and more uncertain world. Whether it's the migration crisis or whether it's economic uncertainty, today's world is a lot more volatile than it used to be. And do you think that in such a context, development issues such as gender disparity, for example, health or education, do you think these problems take a backseat when we're faced with urgent crises?
No, and they shouldn't. They mustn't. Let's take gender disparity. We can't continue to not include 50% of the world population, and that when we involve women, we improve the lot of everybody, not just theirs, but everybody else's around us. So it's a must. It's an urgent must, and I think that the realization that it is so is growing, and a lot of activities are being undertaken to get there. There's obviously pockets, cultural pockets of resistance in many in the world, in all regions, but they're less and less, and it's an urgent area. Which is, and your question brings me back to what I said before. We can no longer afford to do stuff in silos. Yeah. We have to look at the totality of what makes up a problem, and therefore also makes up the solution. It's really a much more integrated, cross-cutting approach to the problems that we need to take.
And what advice would you give to young women who are looking to get involved?
Never give up.
Thank you. Okay, I want to ask you, what do you think we can do as students and as a society to try to build that trust and to instill confidence in government, in our leaders?
Excuse me. One of the reasons for this lack of trust is the fact that we have been witnessing for the past several years a generalized and massive walking away from rules, from international law, from norms, from the agreements that we as international society had reached over these many decades, and sometimes painstakingly, on how to run our affairs. And all of a sudden, more and more we see that a number of big players, whether it's at the international level, at the national, or even at the local level, do what they think they want to do without regard to others. We have to bring back the management of our planet to a rules-based system. It's like being in a family. If every family member does whatever he or she wants, it disintegrates. Yeah. And this is true at all levels of society. In order to rebuild trust, we have to figure out ways of bringing back that management of our world to a rules equality and a very deep sense of injustice that many young people. It means a much greater attention to job creation. It means much greater attention, not educate them for yesterday's problems, which is a little bit the case today. And so your responsibility is to make sure that that we figure out ways of doing so, either by becoming yourself elected officials or by putting pressure on those that do.
How would you say your experience at World Economic Summit has been so far?
It's been very good. I didn't really have any expectations. I thought it was a good opportunity to very much like these kinds of opportunities for me to be able to engage with younger people. It's more inspiring and more interested and better prepared than when I talk to a lot of them. I have had great pleasure in being here. You can combine the pleasure of interacting. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and appreciative and quite positively surprised by the quality of this student that you continue.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much
My
for
pleasure.
being here today.